the post-lunch session. So, we will proceed with our last session of Landix 2023. So we have our next speaker, Dr. Kiran K Telukunta. He has finished his PhD in pharmaceutical bioinformatics in Germany and has been working as a researcher in HPCG infrastructure at IOCB in Czech Republic. He has tutored. He has performed several tutorials on Galaxy and on the use of Galaxy platform, and sir is an expertise in that. He has been trying to propagate Galaxy among the Asian as well as the so, sir, with this brief introduction, I hand over the session to you. Welcome you, sir, once again. Kiran, sir.
Thank you, Indrani. Thank you very much for the introduction. I will try to share the presentation now. Okay, so welcome all. So I have written my topic as an epilogue over Galaxy with ML because it's a lost talk. So I'm treating it as an epilogue kind of thing for the complete talks which happened until now. So, I mean, it's not exactly an epilogue, but maybe a kind of an overview how you can do those things using Galaxy. Before I proceed, I would like to understand the audience, what we have. So I just put some questions. I think we don't have any kind of voting patterns or something, tools. So I have also given some kind of answers. So just type in those answers in the chat so that I understand how many are you, like what kind of an audience I have. So how many of you want Galaxy Framework introduction? Many of you want the Galaxy Framework introduction. So which means if you already know Galaxy introduction, you don't need. But if you don't know, please say yes. Please be active so that I know how many are. I mean, it could be possible even if not many say, I will still give it. But how fast or how slow I go, I will know. So I mean, who doesn't know, please type in that you need it. Or yes, kind of a thing. Who doesn't know Galaxy?
Yeah, participants are requested to please type in the chat box.
Just type yes. As I said, just type yes, then that I know. Okay, looks like so several people already have a Galaxy idea. So I would still go anyway, but a bit more faster could be then. So yeah, so the next question is, how many of you used ML in Galaxy already? You can say yes, if some of you did. Okay, so then it makes sense. So I stay more on that direction a bit slowly. So that's good to know. And the next one is, which Galaxy instance did you use? You can type in EU or org or AU or own accordingly, like I have given here. Like so many people already used, that's what I understand. So you should be typing now which kind of instance you used. So I expect more answers now, because the first question you said you know Galaxy. So own it could be also you installed by your own. That is also own. So not just your organization. So I don't see much answers. So others are not either listening to me or not interested in the talk. Well, okay. So please do express. It's completely fine. Okay, I go to the next question. How many are you from Sri Lanka now? Because we are actually the Lanka weeks. So I want to know. Of course, our first speaker was, as far as I understand. Okay, so it's now basically more of India dominated session right now. Okay. Okay. How many of you already use HPCG environment, or you worked in that HPCG environment? You can just type yes if you worked. Okay, fine. So I have a kind of an idea, because the first and third answers were not many, so I have to go a bit slow again on this. So sorry. Okay, this got a bit. Yeah. So I start with Galaxy introduction then. So a short introduction to the Galaxy. So what is Galaxy? So these are the questions we're trying to answer. What is Galaxy? Why should I use Galaxy? How do I use Galaxy? How can I connect with Galaxy community? So what is Galaxy? Galaxy is a data analysis platform. It's a kind of a framework. You have heard multiple talks today. So most of the talks either use some of the tools. Most of them in bioinformatics are used in the Linux-based tools, or like say command line-based tools. What you've been using, and most of like biological background people doesn't really like on that, or let's say find it difficulty. So this is one of the aspect like Galaxy can resolve. And also like one of the question we had today, like without any AI or ML AI background or programming background, they for them also. So it's like that kind of background. So it's an easy to use platform. It's free and it's open source. And before that, I like the I'm also from active participant in the TMS Foundation, which is also about the open source, which I will tell later again. So free and open source. How many tools already existing? So right now it shows 8,000, but it's actually 9,400 around right now. I updated it. Hopefully by in a couple of days, this number gets changed in this presentation also, because this is a common platform. I'm using the platform of the presentation right now from the Galaxy Training Network. I would also show you what is a Galaxy Training Network, so you can also access all these presentations later. So as I said, like there are many tools already incorporated. Like why so many tools require any kind of publication you see, at least 30 to 50 tools you use, like cut, copy, paste, or like comparing and all such kind of a thing. Everything is considered to be a tool. So all such kind of tools, minors, major, every kind of tools are getting incorporated into Galaxy framework. So such kind of tools already right now 9,400 exists, more than 12,000, almost 12,000 publications. Right now it's showing 10,000 a year. It will also get changed. So there are extensive tutorials available. So it's easy. So it's no need of installation. All you need is a browser. No complex commands, just a point and click. So you will just need to keep clicking, and then that's it. So you will see this more in next presentation, or let's say next tutorial, which I will show in one of the ML. Makes your research reproducible. This is one of the important aspect for the natural scientists. Whatever they do, produce data or produce results, it's based on that others try to again engage on the same topic. So for them, they don't have to again do from the scratch. They have to start from where the existing paper has left. So that makes more sense, and also more taking away all the errors and other things also will be we can ignore, or let's say we can skip, or we don't face such kind of problems. So this will be reproducible aspect, will be very useful in that sense. So Galaxy keeps track of all analysis details. So whatever you do experiments in Galaxy, they will stay, and then you can just share it. So it's not on your local computer, so you can easily share. Now, is this possible with the local computer? Yes, it's possible with the local, but there is also a public thing. Cross domain. So as I said, like it is related with several kind of domains. Right now, it started with bioinformatics, but it's really engaging in several areas: chemistry, ecology, climate, many other data-related things. It's getting extended. So I completely feel that this has to really go in Asian region also. So how do I use Galaxy? There are big three instances right now, which I just in the voting I showed. Use galaxy.org, .eu, and .au. which are like Europe and Australians respectively. So the main one is situated in USA. Why you say as a main one? Because any update or a new thing happens, it gets started over there. But it doesn't mean it takes time. So Galaxy Europe always gets updated if something new happens within minutes, and even Australia also gets updated. So when I say updated, they can decide each of the instance which things has to be updated and which needs not to be. So each instance, each of the entity will decide their own how they should work. So that's how they work. But what they give as a publicly, what they offer, there are different kind of tools offered in different one, but there are several which are common. So majority of them are common. Very few set is a different data sets, or let's say tools, which are available in each of the Galaxy. There are also many other small domain specific galaxies. There are more than 135, so it's the number has to be updated right now. So the public galaxies, which you can see in this link. So how does it look like? It looks like something in this when you open a Galaxy interface. Although it changed a lot in terms of the interface. It got updated, but in general, it looks like this. Left side, you have tools. In the middle, you have what your data and the run tools. And the right side, the history, what you have been doing, and all those things can be visible in the right side. You can upload data from your computer or from URL, which means any public data or public data source stores also. So like UC, NCBI data, those things also can be uploaded directly. So for example, if you take from Uniprot or any other data bank, you can directly get the data from there. History. So it looks usually something like this. One of the any step you do, you will be able to view them, edit their attributes, and delete the file or expand, and then get to know preview of options, download and visualize. Such kind of options are available. Finding a tool. So it's in the left side, which you see your search tools. That is where I'm trying to say that where you can find a tool. You can type the tool in there, and then you can get that tool. Running a tool. So once you click on the tool, you will see in the middle part all the parameters which you can set. And so you can set and then execute them. Analysis of results can be done as in like this, which are shown in different stages: waiting, running, success, or failed. The data sets can be seen like that. You can download these data sets. Also, can know about the information about them. It's kind of a reloading, so it's a kind of very advanced browser programming technology used, so you don't have to refresh the complete page. Reload is enough, and reload happens also for the parts of the website, not complete website. And if there are any bugs, you can view the bugs and report them. That will definitely strengthen the community and improve the Galaxy framework also. There are several options like visualizing data. So these kind of visualization data can be seen in Galaxy. You can do several analysis, not just one. So you can have multiple histories. You can also have a workflow. So once you have done some kind of steps, this completely can be put into a kind of a workflow. So you can put them into workflow. You can redo them. So why you need workflows is you can share that what are the steps you have done, and also you can change in one of the step and again rerun it. So you don't have to again redo everything. So you can just change one of the step and again redo that. So you can also import existing workflows. Sharing, as I said, like this is one of the important aspect in the research. What you have done has to be shared with specific users or with a link, or you can also publish visibly to everyone. So learning Galaxy training materials. There have been so much of contribution until now in the Galaxy community. So it's almost like 8 years happening. So it's India as in Asia as in a very big community which should also participate. It's still a bit not to the capability of this region is happening. So this should happen. Hopefully in future this will happen. There's several help forums. So Galaxy Training Chat or Galaxy Help, or you can join some events and then ask. And so these are the main points. So it lets you perform complex data analysis right from your browser. These analyses are reproducible, and Galaxy keeps track of all your analysis, which is easier to share. And it can be, the dataset can be large and small, anything. It depends on how the which kind of instance you're using. So depending on that, you can enlarge your data set. And there is an active user community which can always help you. There are several training tutorials, and one of today what I'm going to show is also one of the training tutorial. So that's the introduction, I would say. If you have any questions, you can ask. Other than I will just wait for a minute and then dive into the ML tutorial part in the Galaxy. And others who wants to also do simultaneously can also do, but it's completely fine if you're not able to do also, because it just requires an account on the Galaxy. So maybe I'm right now doing it on the usegalaxy.eu. So I'm creating a new history. Okay, I'll wait for if you have any questions. Voice is breaking. Sorry, I did not see. Is it fine now?
No, sir, it's fine. It's completely fine. Maybe issues in the participant side, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's completely fine, sir. Your participants, if you have any questions, you can ask. You can interact with him.
Yes.
So there is a question in the chat box, sir.
Yeah. The difference between eu.org domains. Yeah. So the domains, it's basically, if you see, you land it in different websites. It's a basic one, I would say, basically. But the set of tools available. So if you see here now, usegalaxy.eu. So let me show you usegalaxy.org now. I hope it is running. Yes. It looks almost the same, but the number of tools what you see on the left side would be differ. But even that I cannot show easily right now, because the majority are, as I said, the majority of them are same. But there is a tool shed, Galaxy tool shed. And if you go to Galaxy tool shed, you will see there are, like, as I said, like there are 9,414 tools right now. So any of these tools can be incorporated. Now, you cannot incorporate as a user on this instance or on this .org. The people who maintain that will be able to provide you the tool. So right now, if you want to use from Galaxy Europe, you can only use the tools available. You cannot use others. So that's the kind of a difference will happen. So each like it depends on what kind of a tool, how much is the tool provided depends on, sorry, the tool provided depends on what kind of infrastructure they have. So if they have a huge infrastructure, like some tools require a huge infrastructure, like molecular dynamics, so you require more hardware infrastructure. So if some of them have the hardware infrastructure which can be possible, then they will also provide those tools. Now, I will also show you one more thing. Like right now I'm using Galaxy Europe, but there is a subdomain which is ml.usegalaxy.eu. So it's basically again the usegalaxy.eu, but ML is in the front. So it's now there. It is still part of the Galaxy Europe, but these are right now, if you see, very few tools are here. So most of these tools are concentrated or focused towards the machine learning. So that is a kind of a difference what you see if it is a different domain. I hope the question was answered. If not, you can ask again. So yeah, I will keep. If there is any question, please let me know. Okay. Yeah. So
So,
yeah, so
sir, for now, we can use any of the servers for this particular workshop.
yes, this is possible for any. As for I did not tried, but I don't think this will not be available in other. So in almost all the three, you can try this one. This should be
Okay,
possible,
okay, sir.
as far as my
Okay, sir.
understanding. These are
Okay.
because the basic tools which are getting used. But if not working, please let me know. That's also interesting for me. If you any
Yeah,
of you
sure.
use right
So
now,
right now you are using, sir, which one? Which Galaxy server?
the, use galaxy.eu.
EU. Okay, I'm using AU.
Yes.
We'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. So yeah, now you can also go to ml.usegalaxy.org. There definitely there will be a kind of different set of tools available, but um, if something is not working in the ml.usegalaxy.eu, and you can switch back to usegalaxy.eu very easily, which will happen for me today while I try to do this, because a couple of tools are not available on ml. So I will try to switch, and I will try to show that also when that happens. So okay, this is interface. I mean, I also have some couple of other slides. I'm not going that because we will definitely wait for some tools to work while they're working. So in that time, I will try to come back to the presentation, and I will explain that as and when there's something happening. So what we try to do this today in our like tutorial, we try to predict the age prediction with machine learning. This is based on one of the paper. So it's basically one of the paper is already the predicting. So it's this paper. We are trying to put all the data from this paper and another paper, and use those data to see how we can work in Galaxy. So that's the idea right now, what we try to do. So I also give this link in the chat so that if you any of you are using it. Okay. Fine. So let's go and then try to start. Okay, I'll try to start in ml.use galaxy. Okay. So you can, if you see, you can always start a different history by clicking here, create new history, and then I just create a new history, and you can type in whatever you want. So I'm just typing age prediction ML LXC demo. So anything you can type, you can just click on save. Now I have to get some data to work on it. Now, what kind of a data what we are trying to do? So maybe I'll just go here and then put some machine learning a bit. Um, so in the machine learning, I mean, of course, you have already heard some of the talks, and Pramod talk, and that was very interesting, and Dr. Pramod talk, and others talks also, which like a bit closer on what I will try to say. So uh, that's what I was referring. So you need kind of three things: data, features, algorithms. So basically the data science is part of data and features. Data mining is data and algorithms, and classical programming is features and algorithms. So basically all these kind of things are required in machine learning. What is machine learning is, like, of course, it's a part of artificial intelligence. So the difference between artificial intelligence and machine learning would be, artificial intelligence is the product of machine learning. So when the machine learning happens, only then the artificial intelligence can come. So if the machine learning, it learns and then produces models, and those models, based on that, the intelligence will improve. So basically, as we grow, we get experience. So that's the kind of, machine learning is for the artificial intelligence. So these kind of things what involved in machine learning. So we need some data. Now in this, for doing this age prediction, we take some data. Um, so for the data, how will we get the data? So as I said, we can definitely get the data from public URL. So I will click here, upload data, and I see here there is a paste fetch data. I can paste it here. I can already set the name for it. I want to set the name as in training data normal, and I click on start. Data gets started to upload. So it will take some time. We will keep seeing that. So yeah, uh, while it happens, I will still continue to do that. So if at all at some point we are getting over time, so maybe I will try to go until 14:30. So then I will just skip and then skip some of the step, and I will directly show the end things, because in the last 10 minutes I want to talk a couple of other things. So yeah, so right now the data is getting uploaded. So in machine learning, there are several things. Variants of machine learning would be classical machine learning, would be supervised or unsupervised. What is like in supervised? It's a you basically predict a category and or a number. So if you are predicting a category, it falls into the classification, and if you are predicting a number, it falls into regression. So in classification, it's like divide socks by color, which color of socks are there, like such a kind of a thing, or divide ties by length. Now the number involved, so that comes the regression, and the algorithms which use this regression would be called as regressors. So we will actually try to do this part today. And there is also unsupervised learning with the clustering. This clustering is in the fragment prediction, is definitely useful. Association, other kind of a unsupervised learning, and the dimension reduction. So I don't go more into this one today. And also, it's not more about machine learning. Right now, I'm trying to show that machine learning is possible in Galaxy. So of course, I might be able to answer some of your machine learning questions if you have, but not every question, I'm sure. So yeah, so we mostly go into the supervised and classification regression today. What is classification? So in the meanwhile, I'll see where we are. Okay, this got uploaded. So let's go for the next step and then come back to the presentation. I hope it's not so confusing. You can stop me if you have something confusing, because I'm switching on many windows. You can ask me again something to repeat.
Can I ask a question here?
Yeah, go on, please.
Yeah, I'm trying to use the same link you have sent, right, to fetch the data.
Mhm,
Is that the same?
mhm. No,
Is that so?
no. To fetch the data, not. I haven't given the link. I gave the link for the tutorial.
Okay.
So
So it is just an empty data which will come, right? So if I fetch, it's
let me just a minute. I will show it here. So this link I gave. So if you have to paste, then you have to use from here. So get dataset. So copy this URL.
which one? Where?
So I
Okay,
gave
okay,
this
okay.
link in
Zenodo.
the chat.
That Zenodo
Yeah,
part. Okay,
it's
okay.
Genodo link. Yes, yeah,
Oh,
Genodo link.
fine.
And then you can copy this one.
Okay, fine.
Okay. So I go back again. So we finished with fetching the data. So we have the data now. Now I will show you, like as you see, the left side we have this one, and the right side is the history. And the history thing is changed definitely from the presentation, this slides which I showed in the Galaxy introduction. So if you click here, you have several histories, whichever history you want, that you can change it. So you can view it. So if I click the I here, then I will be able to see the data. So not all the data is shown. So a tiny set. If you know Linux commands, it's a head command. What is it showing here now? So the top 5 rows. And if you want to change some attributes, you can change here. You can convert the data type. Usually, Galaxy is now very intelligent enough that the basic data it's already recognizing. So this is a tabular form of data. So I'm happy with that. So it recognized properly. So yeah, when everything is fine, so then we are fine with data. This data. You can also see. You can also download from here. You can have a link or information about the dataset details. If you click on the I, you will see more details about the dataset. So like what where on the server it's located, you can see that also, or let's say kind of a steps what happened also you can see here. And chop metrics, this will come into more picture if you are trying to debug something, which will be using very useful if you install locally. If anybody interested after the my talks, you can ask about installing other things, so I can show you those resources where they are. Okay, I go back again. So to the tutorial, what we are trying to do. Now we need to create a data processing pipeline. So why we need that? So uh, to do this data anything, so we need kind of a pipeline, what data we need. So for that, mm, we require a kind of first the classification, what we want to do. Also we require the data. So for that data we need kind of a data processing pipeline. So I go for the data processing pipeline. So for this there is a tool called pipeline builder. I take that, type it here, and you see here this is a pipeline builder. Now I go in the pipeline builder. So I will take for the pre-processing, I will take feature selection here, use it like portrait of transformation, and select the algorithm. So what kind of an algorithm I want to. So in this I select features according to k highest scores. So this is what I want according to KS scores. And then this scoring function is F regression. And then we go into final estimator. So for the final estimator, we use sklearn Lydian model. So this is like target estimator. So why we required this, probably I will come back this on the slides I will show. I will just put this step here and then go there. We are using a target estimator. Just remember it like that. Basically, we need some target. So basically, the age prediction, what we are trying to do, age is our target right now. So for that linear model, what we are trying to take. And now what kind of estimator class? So this is kind of algorithm, elastic net, what we are using. I will also show this one. And now we need to set a parameter here to say this is a parameter which was used in the paper. So now to more go detail of why this was set, you have to go into the paper, but you can set such a kind of parameter. You will come to this parameter, this number, after testing repeatedly. So this is not arrived initially directly. So you have to arrive by changing different parameters, only then you will come to this one. So I'll just check if I have everything correct. Feature selection, select, okay, yeah. F regression here, and then SK linear model, and then elastic net, and then random state is this one. So, okay, yes, and also we need output search CV, that is also required. So once we have all the parameters set, then I can click on this one. So we are right now trying to create the processing pipeline. So I haven't used the data set yet. So what kind of pipeline I want to use, that's I'm trying to do that right now. So now this will create estimator and new pipeline. I'll come back to that one. So maybe I have to go some more slides here. So we, as I said here, like in classification, so we try to classify this line, not always a straight line. So, but of course, to show right now, so we are trying to classify what is ours and what is not ours. So kind of like that, class 1 and class 2. So that's basically what you're trying to do in the classification supervised learning method. Now we will end up like in classification, these are more of discrete numbers, and they are like discrete values. So basically you can have like colors and that kind of a thing. Whereas in regression, these are real numbers. So it's again a line is showing right now, and the data points, when they fall around our kind of a line, then we see this is a regression model is developed, and this is a fitting curve. So this is right now any algorithm which uses a regression is a kind of a regressor. So this regress has got developed. That's what we can say. So once the fitting curve is, we get a fitting curve. It is again not a linear always. It can also be different. And then we need hyperparameter to set. So what are these hyperparameters? So hyperparameters are something. So for example, right now for the age prediction, I have in the data set, there are two, the data set which is, the data set which is right now, okay, now I want to show the data set. So here, okay, this is already run. So, but anyway, we go and see the data set. We can always see. So if you see in the data set, there are several parameters. So all these columns, these are the kind of parameters what you see, or the, like, say, different values um, of the data what we have. And at the end, age is one of the thing, and age is a target. So we are right now, this is data of RNA-seq analysis, and we also use the DNA methylation. Now, what is RNA-seq and DNA methylation? I would not go into that one. So probably some of you already know that. We right now taking these two kind of data, RNA-seq and the methylation. This is RNA-seq data. We do training and testing model in the methylation data set. So we get some kind of a regression that is what we are expecting. And now when we have so many parameters, so we need to understand what kind of, which parameters are, let's say, which parameters are very important in predicting the age. So we, from the gene set, genes, which genes are expressing more, we don't know that. So now we need to understand which are important for us. So to understand those parameters, we need to do this hyperparameters thing. So before going to, for example, here ElasticNet is an algorithm, which is a regression algorithm. Before we starting this, we need to understand what kind of parameters will give us more information in predicting the age. So for example, alpha parameter is a real number kind of a parameter. Normalize is a true or false parameters, what you will values can, you can see. And fit intercept is again a true or false, and TOI is again a real number. So we need to, like, different kind of parameters would be there, type of parameters would be there. So we need to find a combination is the best. Now, to find this combination, we need to put a data processing pipeline, and that pipeline, what we are trying to do. So this is what we tried. Let's see if it got generated. So if you see, if I click here, it will show as a zip file. So I'm just renaming it to as a zip here. I can rename. So to understand, this is a zip file. So whenever we see, you will see later stage why I will use it zip like this. And the get parameters is a kind of a tabular form. So if I click here, so this is the tabular. So what the tabular from the parameters what we said, we got this one. This is one of the step. So again, I will put this as a tabular just to recognize that. Okay, now we have this one. So now we have to optimize hyperparameters. So while you do optimizing hyperparameters, how do you search those hyperparameters from all these things? So there are two methods. One is grid search or the random search. In the grid search, you will basically kind of set some discrete values. And so, for example, in alpha, you can say 1, 3, 5, and 7, or something like that, such kind of numbers. In normalize, you can say true or false. And fit intercept again, and the TI also are real numbers like 0.01, 0.2, something, such a kind of numbers you can set. So once you set on all this, so combination of all these things, we will get so many kind of different combinations to verify our which of the combination is better. So we will see. Now we try to do this optimization of hyperparameters. So that would be our next step. So to do that, now I go here and search for the hyperparameter search. Looks like I will not be able to do much because it's already going 1421. So, but let's see. I will show directly the outputs in other things. I have already prepared also. So now we try to set these hyperparameters. Right? So in the tutorial, it's already there. So we here set the first one is grid search, CV, exhaustive search over, yeah. So this is the one what we take, and we need to take zip file. So this is zip file, and this is what I have set already. And we set three parameters now. So in the search parameters, we have possibility to setting those parameters. And yeah, so here we can select the data, the tabular data. And the first parameter, what I'm setting here is select K best. So select K best 10, and this one I'm keeping in the with the discrete values of these things. How do I end up these values? The paper already has, and also this was already done repeatedly, and those numbers are all understood after that. So these numbers are obtained after some of the steps already done. And the second parameter you can again insert here. So what I'm trying to show in the Galaxy, now you have like in programming, when you see you need to give on the command line parameters, so those parameters now right now you're giving here. So elastic net here again, which is normalize. I will set this as okay. So they can as false, yes. And then search list would be within true or false. So then I'm going to the third one, which is elastic alpha net alpha, which is 1 point. So it's uh, version 1, and the search list would be between these values. So now I have 3 values, and so which means now you see like 4, 2, and 3. So it's like 24 if you multiply all of them. So like 24 combinations will happen. So for, it will search in all this 24 combination which is better one. And in advanced search of CV, I have to set a regression. So what is here's a regression which will actually tell how good is our scoring. So this one we can select is R2, and the splitter what we use is k-fold. So this k-fold is required. Let me see if that picture is available here. I'll show you laterwards. And the end splits what we use, these are basically required to validate and also train. So when you train and validate, so these are the steps in machine learning always. So you first have the data, you train with the data, and you generate the model, and then again you do the test in the on the test data. So with how many folds you want to do, this is 5 we do here. And shuffle data, yes. And I also keep a random seed number. People who have already done Python programming or any other C++ programming know, if you have a function, a random number, random function, it will always do a new random. But if you keep getting the random number, sometimes it repeats, a kind of a pattern you see. So that can happen when the same some seed number is like always taking the same seed number. So basically any random generalization, it requires a kind of seed number. You can set any kind of number. So you set a number. So if you set the same number, the random numbers, the randomness is the same thing happens. So I'm just keeping the same one so that we can get the similar kind of data. And I will yes, whether the shuffle, yes. And then I will remove the race fit error. So I'm removing this. So if some error comes, it will not stop. It will just keep going on. And now select input type. Now here is the tabular data. And here I would take the training data normal, which we first uploaded. And so data set contain, yes, it contains a header. So we will say that it contains header because you already seen the data has header. Let me show it again. So I can actually open any number of times, the same thing. So I was doing on the ml.eu. If I go to usgalaxy.eu, if you see here, I don't see the same thing, but I can actually now change it. So which I'm trying to say that both are different. Kind of, even though both are in the EU, they are different instances. So if you see here, the data set has a header. So that's what I'm trying to say, that has a header. And so search columns by column header names, not the index. And header name, what we are looking for is age. So again, age, and then dataset contain target labels. Okay, now we are going for the labels. This is done. Okay, sorry. Wait, I missed it here. Sorry. So here it should be header, and then header name is age. It's here, and then here we'll say header is there. That's correct. Mhm. And now here I select this one again, tabular, the data again. It's normal because the same data also contains the labels. And it also contains header again, the same thing. And yeah, header names. So here all I chosen, and here is a header like that I have chosen, and again it's an age here, and whether hold a portion of samples of test exclusively, we don't have to. So like basically you have to set all these parameters. So whenever you try to do, if you try to do a program, so usually you would have to give inputs, all these things, and then do. So in the Galaxy, you have an option of setting all these things, and then you can just execute. So let's see, go ahead and execute. I hope we have everything. Yes. Yeah, now run tool. Okay, this will take some time. I don't think so. We might be able to finish it. So I will show you the finished one. Okay, I will come back to this one. So we are trying to get the best combination for the elastic net regressor. So I will show which is already done. So I have already done the same steps as this one. So if you see here, these two, first we have the data what uploaded, and then the parameters we have got. So after this step, so right now what is getting executed, we will get hyperparameter search. These are the data what I get. And here we see that parameter with 5880 here, this is the best one. And which is exactly the same in the paper also mentioned. So in the same one, so now I go for, so this is a kind of a plot which we will do after that. So once you have the test score and other things, we will get such a kind of plot. So this plot basically shows it's almost like 0.72, where in the paper 0.8 they were saying, so it's more or less close to that one. So in the alpha, normalize, and select best, these are the parameters what we have given input, and all those three things you see, which are like some of them are going to that range. So in this plot we are able to see that one. Now to train the model, to check in the test model, we are using with the methylation. So I have already done that also. So if I have uploaded 3 other data sets in the same way, like from Zenodo, what I have taken. So if you see, these are the 3 data sets which have the data. And here, basically, if you see in the train rows, age, it also has age, and in the test, you would not see age. So when you try to see the age in the test rows, we don't have. So we have trained age is there. We built up a model with the after deciding the parameters from the hyperparameters step, and then based on that model, we run with the test data set to predict the age. So now this is next steps. So we again do for the methylation also the same hyperparameterization, which will generate these 2 things. The zip file we can't see much, which can be only downloaded, and we can see these are the parameters which are done for the methylation step. So methylation data set, or like the RNA-seq data are two different data set, but we're still trying to do, because the data is related to the same patient. So it's like 133 patients in the paper, it says. So the data obtained from them in 27,000 different genes, or let's say different expressions were taken from 133 patients. So if you see in the end, we see there these were the better ones with the DNA methylation, and it is also closely as in the paper what we obtained. So okay, this one, I think so. Yeah. So after that, we can when we do the after optimization, the ensemble method of classification with the regression, we can do that. So we will be able to do the prediction. So here, in this step, for this we use the tool ensemble. So which was not available in the ML. So, and I had to come to this one, use galaxy.eu. I was able to run that. So you can, I will just show here, I think. So if you see that ensemble, okay, it's here. I think this was a different one. Okay, maybe a different tool was not there. This was for the plotting. Yes, for the plotting, it was not there. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, if you see here, we have this has predicted now the age. In the last one, the predicted is the age. And now we want to see how close is that. So this can be seen with this plotting. So true values and then predicted values, they're almost near. So if you see in every data points, the values, they are almost near. And you can also see this one. Now, if you see here, the points, they fall into this x equal to y curve, which means that they are close enough what we predicted. And also we don't have any kind of pattern here on this dots. When there is no pattern, actually it has done good, because if we have a pattern, so then our model is predicting only the pattern values. It's not predicting everything, other areas. So when we don't have any kind of pattern, so it is able to predict other areas also. And if you see this one, it's basically shows residual versus predicted values, how they are diverged. So this graph, this plot also can be done with the tools available in the Galaxy. So these are the things which can be done, like setting up parameters and other things. So there is some problem. Okay. So, okay, maybe I will have to look it later. So maybe it could be possible that server is not right now responding for that tool. So anyway, we have this one. So these are the steps which has done, and we get all these things. So this is possible in this one. So I go back to presentation, and I would like to show some of the things. So if you see in the machine learning Galaxy, there are several other tools available. So you can see the basics of learning. There are hands-on sessions, input dataset, and workflows. You can import those workflows. You can do classification, clustering, and other steps. There are several tools already available. Support vector machines, mostly many of people use in prediction, like protein prediction, structure prediction, and others. So here, and regression, mostly used in terms of clustering also. So the clustering algorithms also available, but of course these are not the exhaustive ones. There are several more can be possible, and I hope more community from Asian region will contribute to that one. So model evaluation, there are other tools are also available already here in the Galaxy. You can use this one. If you don't have any tool, you can also contribute to include it into here. I would like to show the training materials, how they are classified, or let's say arranged. You can also go and register for these GTN Smokesboard. Smokesboard is nothing but a kind of buffet. You can learn whatever you want. So these are the kind of all the tutorials available. So the tutorial which I showed is under statistics and machine learning, and you should see age prediction of machine learning. Hands-on is there, and there are data sets, and then workflow is also there. So if I click on workflow here, I see here, and if I just give the data, and then afterwards if I just click in this one, it will directly start working. So all the steps will already come. So there are possibilities. You can learn other kind of algorithms and other areas of machine learning here. And if you want to uh, do it on your own server, if some tools are not there, then you would first go to the server administration, a kind of an idea you can have, and you can also install completely on your locally. So this is also possible. Yeah. So for example, if you go getting data into the Galaxy, I think search Galaxy making data in the workflows, this is also available here. You can install as in locally also the Galaxy. So many other tutorials are here. I would like to show a couple of other things. So use galaxies in Asia. I is a focus what we want to focus as in Bioclues and also TMS Foundation. Very active galaxies are like .org, .eu, and .au. And main information of Galaxy is available on the galaxy.project.org. And you will be able to see all other servers, and for installing and other kind of help also you will get here from the getting started. So there is a possibility of how you want to install, and other steps are already shown here. So you can do that. And as in like in India, we are trying to promote more. So Galaxy, if any of you are using Galaxy, and if you want to use and you want to be with the community within India, please do mail us, let us know, and contribute into that area. So we are trying to get these servers, the regional servers .in and .asia. So if more community is active, definitely these servers could come, because it's not just about science here. It's also about the politics. So politics, when I say it's not a negative word, usually it is taken as negative. Politics is a policy that if we want to have the servers in India, that possibility. So there should be a community which should say that we want, then that definitely will happen. So we need people who can already use and start doing. It's kind of a Linux kind of an environment. If people already know how to use Linux, then they know how these things work. So yeah, if you have any questions, please ask now. Yeah, I'm done. So I know it's a bit kind of a faster one, but all the things are already available, so you can again do them. So I'll wait for questions.
Yeah, the participants can unmute yourself and ask your questions. Like I personally felt, sir, it was an amazing session, fantastic, sir. I think this is the second time I'm attending your talk on Galaxy itself, and it has been always been really inspiring about it. So yeah, participants, you can ask your questions here.
I mean, please do involve yourself. And I mean, I've seen a couple of presentations where I just wanted to say this, activate your Windows or such a kind of thing. Don't use pirated things. Please use Linux. So it's not so great to even present that kind of a things. So yeah, that would be great. Because if you actually spend, either you should contribute with the time or money. If you contribute with money, of course you can buy Windows and then have non-pirated, and either contribute with the time, so you have Linux, and contribute to the open science like with the Galaxy.
I think, sir, we need a special separate session on Galaxy tutorials, because this platform is quite dynamic. I mean, very helpful. Once we start, it's not a single day usage, but once we start getting used to it, the more involvement, the more we get user friendly to this platform. Yeah, please participate.
Yeah,
Please.
actually, even I found that it's kind of exhausting. New things keep getting adding on in Galaxy.
Yes. Sorry, I didn't get your question. Was
I
it a
was
question or a
I was
comment?
just saying that no, I think we saw that, like, it has been evolving. There are many tools and that comes in, so it's up to ours, users. What is it? Creativeness, how to use, which to use, and create their own pipeline.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, any more participants, please?
Yeah, Anuj, go on.
Yes.
Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Actually, I'm very new to this Galaxy software and all, so I have learned a lot. But I just want to know that because most of the times, if we are listening to the lectures and they are just talking about that, it's really helpful in drug discovery and drug repurposing type of work. So I just want to know that how I can use this software for that kind of work.
When you say drug repurposing and these things, so there is another instance right now on the EU for the this thing. So it's like chem informatics is there. So that's what I would recommend you. Just a minute. We'll show you that. Okay, they were changed here. So let's see if I can get it. Yeah. So if you go to the cheminformatics.usegalaxy.eu, you will see more related to your tools, drug repurposing or molecular docking, pharmacoalignment, molecular dynamics. So as I said, like molecular dynamics simulations, it requires a huge our infrastructure, so not everybody can provide this one. And again, now there are some institutes around the world which do these things with HPCG environment. It's called high performance computing. So this is also possible, but on that, so some people doesn't use Galaxy. So if it's used Galaxy on the HPCG environment, it will be much more effective. So that's possible. So yeah, so they probably you should go here and check the tools available here. This could be useful for you.
Yeah, thank you. And just like just few moments ago, that Indrani ma'am has said that it's really having a huge bunch of these tools, and so we need one separate session for that. And it's quite helpful if
So
Bioclues will organize such kind of session.
so I can already say that there are these things are already we did some sessions. So if you go here in galaxyproject.in and go to this playlist, you will see so those list will be there. So some of those talks are there, our previous talks with Galaxy, with Bioclues we did, and also with other conferences where we did. So you should definitely visit this one. So existing ones, but of course be involved. So that will definitely will help you.
Yeah, thank you so much, and a huge round of applause for you.
Thank you.
That was really insightful. So, Kiran, sir, I just had a question. Like, so pharmacophore modeling also we can perform using Galaxy platform. We can do that.
So it depends on what are available. So if you see here, like AlignNet and Sucos clustering are an Open3D. As I know that I did with Open3D Align this one, and but there are other fingerprints. Not all the fingerprints available. This was my 2 years before information. So in 2 years, much could have changed. You have to check by yourself. So it could be possible that there are more things are all there and they are not listed here. So that is also can happen. Like I was talking on the basics of Galaxy when I was showing this slide. So I'm trying to show you how the community happens. So if I was showing these slides, if this is now 8,000, this is definitely not the latest number. So I seen yesterday and then I changed it. So I cannot, anybody can change. It's not just me. Anybody in this talk, like all the 28 people can try to change this. You can go here and then change, but you need to understand how to change. What are the protocols? What are the methods you have to follow? So definitely there could be already there. So I don't know if it is existing more other kind of help things for you for doing the pharmacophore things. So you have to check, but I'm pretty much sure there should be more than what I know. Yeah, I mean what are listed right now. I would say.
Yeah, sir. As I said, like we have to constantly work in this platform as such. Like it goes on evolving.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much, sir, for taking the pain. I mean, it was really wonderful. Everyone has enjoyed the talk, and it has been
One more point I
interactive.
wanted to say. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
One more
Please,
point.
please,
Yeah.
please.
For your question, I just got so if I showed this tool shed, what you can do is if what kind of a pharmaco modeling or like what kind of a tool you want to use, if that is there or not, you should search here. This here will be the exhaustive search for you. So toolshed is the exhaustive search. If you search here and if you get your tool here, then the tool is already can be incorporated into Galaxy. Now the question is which Galaxy is providing that. If none of the Galaxies are providing, then you can install the Galaxy by yourself and then have the tool also. And if you don't see that here, then you can also contribute to get the tool into the Galaxy. That's also the next step. Okay.
Wow, amazing, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your insight. And yeah, Kavita, ma'am,
Okay.
please unmute yourself, ma'am.
Thank you, Indrani. Kiran sir, can you
Yes.
hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I can.
Okay. So actually, compared to the program-based, coding-based way of running application, and using a Galaxy, what way Galaxy, both advantage and limitation? If you could say me the gap, the limitation that will do good.
So if I understand the question, like programming, like
Like
using the
code
tools
based,
for
yeah,
programming,
yeah. People
or
were
using the Galaxy, what are the comparing those?
no.
So
My question is, sorry, I
yeah,
put
yeah,
it
please
in
go
a
on. Yeah.
not easy way, I guess. So the code-based people, there is a community, coding-based community, and see, the Galaxy is a platform where, like Windows-based kind of, right? So when you go for publication, is there a limitation when you use a Galaxy-based way of outputs?
So first thing, I just wanted to correct one point. It's not a Windows based; it is browser based, and it can use in any operating system, the Galaxy. And I understand when you say Windows based, it's non-command line. So that's
Yeah, yeah,
correct.
yeah. That's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
thank you. Yeah.
yeah. So, here. Like there is a community you can you involve into the community and ask more questions over there. So if something is not working, the code base is like they develop their own programs that are kind of and then of course they also try to incorporate into the Galaxy. I'm not sure if I answered your question completely. Is this the one?
Yeah, I mean, I get partial answer, but say for
Please
example,
go
if
on
I
with
am
the
going
question
to
again.
do, yeah, yeah. For example, can you hear me? Yeah, right.
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Yeah. So, for example, if I'm going to do deck analysis using Galaxy and completely a non-Galaxy, platform, then which is preferable? I mean, in a way, right? Because Galaxy, it's a bit easier in a way if you know the steps, right? So, I mean, if I am
So
not
I would say like yeah,
using codes,
yeah.
for example,
So
yeah.
yeah, I got your question now. So so basically, when you want to start a project and you are undecided whether to start with the Galaxy or non-Galaxy. Now, what I would suggest is it depends on how long is your project. So, for example, if you need in 1 day or 2 day, definitely if you already know all the tools, then go ahead with the tools. Don't go for the Galaxy. But if you know Galaxy in the Galaxy, those tools are there. Definitely Galaxy again within 1 2 days also, because if you know that those tools are existing. The point is, if you try in Galaxy and if the tools doesn't exist, or at least one of the tool, the complete thing process, it's a kind of a problematic. Again, here is an exception. Again, you can go to certain steps in the Galaxy and then download the file, and from there you can also do the command line. So that's also possible. And so if your project is, let's say, 3 to 6 months or something, or maybe if people are doing in the PhD 3 years, and if people are doing in PhD, I would definitely prefer that they should go for the Galaxy, because in the first 3 to 6 months you might find to try to see the tools are there, what is Galaxy and other things. But if the tool is not there, you will have definitely some time to incorporate your tool also, if it is a PhD. And even in the, master thesis, if person is already equipped with programming knowledge, I would say they should also go to the Galaxy and then do. So yeah, it depends on each scenario. I don't know if I answered all scenarios, but I don't know if I answered your scenario. You can come back.
Yeah, I got it. And sorry, hanging on to this same thing. Molecular dynamics, using Google Colab, takes so much time, and so I'm finding it difficult. So Galaxy will be better on that account, please.
Here,
Time wise,
if you do, got it. The code collabs or Google collabs, you have to spend more amount there. Like for example, you have to spend more on the GPUs. So if you buy more GPUs in the Galaxy on the Google, then you will do it more faster. Now coming to the same thing, definitely if you, as far as I know, in the EU they have the GPUs for the molecular dynamics, but I'm not sure how much they will support you, because these are like high intensive, or let's say things which sometimes molecular dynamics they do take for 30 days to execute, or 20, 15 days or something like that. And those things, such a kind of long process models, they may not give you priority for your jobs. That also happen, and which is why I say from the Asian regions, please contribute to usegalaxy.eu in and
This is where,
that is a point I would come.
yeah, Dr. Kiran, thanks. That's actually now taking 1 month actually for me, even to find one ligand receptor binding and the dynamic side. So this is where the Indian community can. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Thank
There
you,
was
sir.
one more question, I think.
Yeah, in the chat box, sir, 2 questions are there. Will that
Okay.
with that we will wind up? Yeah.
Okay. Well, these different servers acceptable equally. I didn't get the complete question, but I tried to answer something. So acceptable equally, that part I did not understand. But as I said, all the servers will not have same kind of capability, but basically basic tools are there in everything. And the .in is landing on the EU right now. UseGalaxy.in also exists as in when you type in, but this is landing on the EU. So whatever on the EU tools are there, those tools you can use. With the EU and or there are different set of tools acceptable in the sense you can do as long as possible on one of the server, and if one of the tool you're not able to do, you can export your workflow into another server. So that is a method you can do, because if you don't know if that works or not, sometimes the tool is available but it works or not, that's again another step. So what you can do is first do as far as you can in one of the server, and then if it's not working, then take your export your workflow into another one. So I hope that's answered somehow. And can we deploy ML model using Galaxy? Yes, there are several models already, which one like ElasticNet, what I showed in the talk today. So there are several other models, algorithms are already available. You can try to check more models in the available tool shed.
Yeah.
And that's one more point I want to say here,
sir.
because she's
Please.
winding up. I would please request a lot of you who are interested into learning Linux and then doing this kind of open source things. Please get back to me or in the Bioclues. We need more people who can actually do, but people who want to do rigorously, not just staying 1 day and then 2 days with nothing, 2 or 3 days, nothing will come. If you are in long-term approach, please come to us.
Thank you, sir, for adding that point and making it clear. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. For such a wonderful talk. Every participants have enjoyed this session a lot. It was really fruitful for all of us. But again, that one single is not sufficient. Sundar, sir, you want to say something, sir? Please.
No, that's all. I'm done. Oh, sorry, Sundar, sir.
Sundar, sir. Sir, you're not audible, sir.
Hey, Indrani, you are telling me?
Yes, sir. You wanted to add something, please?
Oh, okay. Because I was not hearing. Okay. It was a wonderful talk. To add further thing to Kavita, right? See, when I tried to install some software embedded to a web server, like I wanted to add Blast, so that it gives a complement to the server in a particular way. It was a very big, difficult thing, no? But I managed to do. But when I change the server, again, I have to do everything from scratch. But whereas in Galaxy, everything once embedded, we are able to do things easily and get things done on the way. So that's the thing Kiran is trying, and these kind of servers are more helpful because we are not like a computer software engineer to do this amendment and wait for it, right? We need our result and how things are working. So we have to use these kind of servers which are readily available rather than wasting our time in trying to see whether it works or not. So that's the main thing. These galaxies are coming up and they are trying to add more things to it, and it's really a very good thing. Once we start using, we will love it actually, because I myself faced a lot of things in embedding various bioinformatic tools into various servers, because servers has a lot of limitation, their level of operating system and so many thing is always a challenge actually. So these kind of servers, once you use right, then you will know how things are happening. And Kiran is trying hard to bring a good setup for India also. That we are also working, and we will soon see how things can come up in this. And yeah, so it was a wonderful session, and we want more of you to come forward to start using it. Then we will know how the flavor is, how things are happening, and then we can go for adding more stuff to it.